Hi everybody, I'm Rob Hill with Total Wine & More, and I am at Coronado Brewing Company in Coronado, California, right across the bay from San Diego. And with me is Ron Chapman, CEO and co-founder of Coronado Brewing. And Ron, you started this with your brother.
We did. In 1996, August 30th is the first day we opened.
So you and your brother Rick started it way back. Now you were telling me that you actually grew up nearby here.
Literally about 100 yards from here was the house we grew up in the 60s and 70s. When we grew up in this area, this was our playground. It's still when the ferries were still going in San Diego, so it was a lot less developed than it is now. So basically this is how we found it, because we were so close to home.
So this really still is your playground, isn't it?
It is our playground, and it's changed quite a bit from the initial setup. Back when we were growing up, there were very few businesses on this block. Back in August 30th, 96, when we opened, we were the only restaurant on this end of town. So we had a lot of naysayers that said it'll never work, and we said, well, we're going to give it a shot anyway. The rest is history. We're still here.
And I guess you figured if you brew good beer, the people will come, and that turned out to be true.
Yes. When we opened our brewery, there were only 6 breweries in San Diego, so we had very limited resources for research to do. At the end of this year, there's going to be over 60 breweries in San Diego, so it's grown nicely.
So you're really one of the originals.
Yes.
It's always been a family business, but it's even more of a family business now, isn't it? You have your sons and daughter and...
Very much so. When we first opened, my kids were still in high school and junior high. 16 years later, my oldest son is a general manager and marketing director. My younger son is the head chef here at the Coronado Brewing Company, and my daughter's one of the general managers as well. So it's great. I see my kids more now than when they were growing up in my house.
So now it's their playground.
It is.
It's come full circle.
And they have kids now, so this is literally their playground. They're 4 to 8 years old, so they're in here every day as well.
That's fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about your core beers.
The Coronado Golden was one of the original beers, still is one of our mainstays that's in our package currently. We had the Four Brothers Pale Ale, which was draft only. We did no packaging when we first opened, so we had draft only beer. So it was the Coronado Golden, the Islander IPA, and the Four Brothers Pale Ale. And we had a Hefeweizen at the time that we no longer carry. So those were the 4 beers that we initially started with for the brew pub. It's grown into having over 80 different recipes that we rotate as often as possible. But with the demand we have of our beers in the market, we're limited to how creative we can be because we need to keep up with the distribution demands.
Right, because so you not only have to satisfy here, the pub and the home base,
yes,
but you're bottling.
And one of the nice things about the pub is we do a lot of creative beers that we have never done before, one-offs, and we'll test them in the brewery to get consumer feedback. And if we get the kind of feedback we're looking for, we'll do that into a seasonal beer or a specialty offering to the marketplace.
So what do you see the future for Coronado Brewing?
Well, I think we have a very unlimited potential, as do most people in our industry. We have less than 6% of the market in the craft category. So the room for growth is 94%, in my opinion. So there's a lot of work to do and a lot of fun to have.
That sounds great. Well, we really appreciate the opportunity to come out and talk with you and meet you.
Thank you very much.
Taste your beers. Cheers.
Cheers. Enjoy.